Hello and welcome to Red Flags. We're your hosts, Dave, Al, Donnie, and Obi. And today we're talking about 2020's Caveat, directed by Damian McCarthy.
I miss when we identified as Dado.
Oh, yeah.
I always like Doodah.
Doodah.
Dave, I have a question for you.
What's that?
So when you watched this movie, like I didn't even think about it until the end of the movie, but all the credits were at the end.
Yep.
I've
I've actually watched quite a few different movies. Like, I was watching a little bit of Imaginary, and that actually fires up fairly quick, too.
Yeah?
It does the typical Blumhouse thing in the beginning, but like I said before, I'm fine with the main studios that are making it. You know, they do like Lionsgate and then Blumhouse, and then it just kind of went into it.
In case you're wondering,
Like that.
Donnie, we had a conversation about the bullshit when you have to sit there for 20 minutes watching every person that's in the movie flash on the screen one by one.
I
Before the
watched a
movie-
movie
Oh,
today.
yeah.
It's called Repulsion by Roman Polanski, and I thought of you, Dave, because it was an eyeball and it would blink and do a name, and it did that for like 20 fucking minutes. And I wanted to snap. I thought of you. I was like, Dave.
It's
I
so
hate
funny
this.
because, you know, you don't
20
really
minutes.
think about how long it really goes through that in the beginning.
Yeah.
It makes you almost just want to shut the movie off and be like, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
done. I
It's
don't,
like
I don't
5
care who the
minutes.
fuck is in it. I don't care about that.
Yep.
Don't care.
Dial back the
That,
credits.
that was one of the movies where me
Yeah.
and Dave actually had watched it together.
See, I find it more.
Oh.
And so we had these arguments
Yeah.
live.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
I'm excited to find out what everybody thought of this movie.
so you watched it twice.
Yes.
Did that help?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to know right off the bat, we're talking about 2020 Caveat. Did everybody understand what happened?
I think I have a good idea, but I still have some questions.
Okay.
But so first I'm going to rate it and I'm going to give it a 7 because it was good. There was some problems, but I liked it.
All right.
Yeah.
So a 7.
think I-
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It is good. It's high. It's high on this one, I think.
What's Donnie got?
hell
What did
is
you think of
going
it,
on?
Donnie?
I think I'm in some general agreement. I'm gonna go with 15. No. I think I'll start with a 7. Because I there was some stuff that was just kind of like I don't even know where I was
The rabbit.
going with that. It's just like it. Yeah.
What's your
I
problem?
liked it a lot, but it had some I don't know, predictability to it.
What's your
maybe?
problem with the rabbit?
I don't have a
What's my
problem with the rabbit.
Dave is like, the rabbit.
The rabbit
So,
just sitting there
Most of the
drumming away on
time-
its fucking drum.
most of the time in movies, they did this one a little different. Most of the time, something that was, say, battery operated, the batteries would drain and it would stop working. Cameras, things like that. Usually, when some type of entity, ghost, something would be around. This one came to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're mad about that?
No, I just thought it was odd.
All right.
Odd choice.
You had said
I
last
liked
night.
I liked the rabbit was freaky looking.
Oh yeah.
I loved
I
And
loved it.
And last night you had mentioned you were like, I want to know more about the rabbit.
Well, yeah, I'd like to know a little
What
bit
did
more
you
about
want?
it. Like,
What did you want to know more of?
where did it come from? Why did she have that rabbit?
Well, maybe it's just a toy from her childhood.
But she left it everywhere. She never actually did anything with it, except for carried around in the very beginning to try to find the really loose paneling. Why she didn't just pull the paneling off?
Yeah, I was
Cut a
like, why
hole
can't
in
you
it.
just push that?
Because you see when she's cutting, it's flopping all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you could just punch that, I think.
That looks really
Like-
kickable.
Like you could
Yeah.
just
Yeah, kickable.
this is like I don't feel like it'd probably be less noisy to just make one loud noise rather than
Yeah.
You could Kool-Aid man that thing pretty easily.
It kind of reminded me of like Trailer House wainscoting.
yeah.
you push your finger on it, it cracks, and you can blow your finger through the thing. So
Yeah.
What did you think, Dave? What score do you got?
I'm starting with a 7 as well.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Ooh, I feel like Opie's low on this one.
Yeah.
I'm giving
Go
it,
ahead, give it your disappointing 5.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
I really like this one
Oh.
because I watched it twice and I really understand it now.
Do you
and
think-
it's effectively scary?
Do you think that you would have rated it lower just watching it one time?
Maybe because it was hard to understand the first time. And I watched a couple explanations.
I got most of it right off the bat.
Yeah, I
Did ya?
think I figured it out. It's
Okay.
just kind of like I do appreciate that they didn't try to over explain shit and make the viewer feel like an idiot. You know what I mean?
No, you had to pay attention.
You,
Like
Yeah.
the whole
you know what?
accident, why he forgot.
Correct.
Yep.
They
Yep.
don't really.
Well, they kind of explain it in visual. You
Yeah.
see it, you
Yeah.
know.
Which is
I'm already like gonna up my score because they like in agreement with that. I think they gave you enough to like know the bones of what's going on, but there's still plenty of like mystery, like with the rabbit. It's just like you want to know more about some of this stuff, and it gives it
gonna
enough
be-
mystery to be creepy. But
I'm gonna be honest. I think the supernatural aspect of this movie is completely unnecessary.
That's fair. Could you
Yeah.
sum up the movie?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Who, me?
Yeah, is that something we could do?
Okay, well, like just kind of lay it all out.
Just
No,
and
just
try
skim.
to be
Just
general and
Yeah, just
really
kinda
vague and
quick,
Yeah,
like a 5-minute recap.
not even that. Yeah,
Okay, there's a girl.
Is there a guy
Great
gets
start.
hired?
Hang on, you used to ask me to
Okay,
do this. Don't you be trampling all over it.
And you can't forget that she loves to play peekaboo for a long time.
I said 3 words, and you're like, okay, good enough.
brief description, just be vague, but like 5 minutes. Okay, so there's this girl.
All right,
That's it.
So there's this girl.
they live in a house on an island.
Yep.
Apparently, there's
No.
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 What do you mean? No.
That she doesn't live there. They don't live there.
She seems to fucking live there.
She's staying there.
She's staying there.
yeah.
Okay, she's
Because that's where-
staying at a house on an
That's
island.
where her dad died. And she goes there.
There's a girl.
I didn't mean to like
Fine, everything I'm saying wrong. I give up.
No. I just wanted to make sure that, you knew that.
Who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter.
Girl.
It does matter.
Why does it matter if they live there or not?
So there's a girl on
Because
an
there's no
island,
heat.
and she's got mental problems. Take it from there.
She goes into a catatonic state where she just sits and covers her eyes and her nose bleeds.
She's having a hard time.
Yep.
She's struggle busting.
Yep.
Yes, she's having a hard time because her dad killed himself and her mom.
Was murdered.
Yeah.
By I'm not sure who exactly, but I have a suspicion it was.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
We're
I
not.
guess we could get into that
'Cause we're
later
not
when it
supposed-
gets to that.
We're not supposed to really jump into that yet, but
But you want to give it a vague.
and
There's a girl.
There was a
She
dude.
lives on an
Stop.
island.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. They
Stop
in the beginning,
interrupting.
though- No, I'm saying in the beginning they didn't. No, the mom disappeared. She left, is what they thought.
We don't
What
even
is
get
going
into
on right
details
now?
yet.
All right, vague.
Yeah, but that
Keep
was
going,
that
keep
was
going,
part of it.
vague.
I'm
Vague
that-
description.
yes, that's a part of the story, but it's not a part of my description. Let me get to the fucking description without you guys interrupting every 5 seconds.
Oh, this shit is
All right,
killing me,
so
dude.
just Al's gonna talk. Nobody's gonna say.
There's a girl in a house.
Yep.
A dude is hired to babysit. Don't argue with me. There's a dude hired to babysit. So he's hired to babysit and he has to wear a leash. He's not happy about the leash, but he has to fucking wear it. Otherwise, he doesn't have a job. That's the beginning. That's all you need to fucking know. Let's go. Let's get into it.
All right.
Jesus.
I will say the first 30 minutes of this had me locked in.
Oh,
I was bored from the first 5 minutes.
Really?
The first 5 minutes, like I was on my phone, right? And then I was like, I have to put the phone down because I'm sure I have to pay attention.
So she's wandering around with this fucking rabbit by the ears, and it's drumming. She like
Yeah.
holds it in the room, and if it starts drumming, she goes that way.
Oh yeah, that was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ended up in the basement, cut the hole in the wall, and you don't see anything beyond that. You just see her cut the hole, and that's that.
Well,
right?
she's looking in with the flash.
Yeah, she's looking in, but you don't see
Yeah, you
what.
don't see what she
You
sees.
definitely see
Yeah.
she sees something.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of that rabbit? We all think it was fucking cool.
Yeah, that was badass
Fuck
rabbit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that thing was creepy as hell.
Coolest fucking rabbit in
design.
the movie.
So that I watched an interview with the guy who made this, Damian McCarthy, and he said that he had a few different props over the years that were bunnies, and he didn't really like them. So he made this one, and it had more fur on it, but he had to sit on this before like a year before he could use the rabbit, and all the hair fell off. And so that's what we got.
Ooh, nice.
That's cooler.
And
Yeah, way
Yeah.
better.
the inspiration of the movie is, I forget who he quoted, but he was saying that sometimes there's some famous director, I can't remember who the fuck it was, but they said that sometimes the inspiration of a movie can just be an item or a word,
Okay,
and that can
okay.
be inspiration,
Yeah.
and you pop off from there, and that's where this one
So the rabbit was the
it
inspiration.
was kind of the
I
inspiration.
think he went off in a weird tangent. I'll tell you that.
You think? You think?
Yes,
you went?
because okay, so like if the reason that I didn't give this a higher score is because story wise, it was two different things, and it could have been one or the other.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like it had this supernatural aspect, which it starts you off with, right? The bunny rabbit thing. It like has that creepy supernatural. This is gonna be a ghost story, but the majority of the movie is just
Real shit.
it's drama. It's thriller.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
supernatural shit is like a accent to it
and
almost.
then they barely touch on the supernatural thing. Like when he's sitting in that chair facing the outside and he's looking at the dog on the leash, and he's like, you, me, buddy, we the same.
This is that first 30 minutes because the chain comes up
Yep.
and you can't see why.
Yep.
It
the
had
light
me
goes out
Yeah.
first.
locked in.
Yes,
man.
I loved that. But then it does that stuff, but then it just like makes you forget that there's anything there. And I don't know if that's the fucking point. But then like
I think a lot of it too, though, is the fact that he doesn't have a choice at this point. He can't get out of that.
yeah, no, but I'm not worried about like that. That's the other side of it. That's the reality stuff.
Yeah,
That's
but
him.
I think that's why he kind of, like, from his perspective, in a sense, like he just kind of he has to brush it off. He ain't got a choice.
Yeah, I know, but like why have the supernatural thing in there at all if it doesn't even fucking matter throughout this whole movie? Because he's not being haunted.
So at the beginning of the movie, we got.
Nothing's trying to kill him.
Nope, but it's trying to get his attention.
Yeah, yes.
Yep.
The mom is trying to get his attention.
To find her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
can have-
oh yeah. That makes sense
Yes.
because when you consider the like what the story is,
Yep.
that would make sense. I think it does a really good job too of
That-
like building the environment and just getting the that kind of creepy aesthetic to it.
Yeah, but you could have cut all of this
yeah, but then you wouldn't
ghost
have
stuff
that
out.
crazy part where the mom with her half,
Are you talking about like the very end?
kind of,
Like when
where he's crawling through that deal and you see her head go,
That's what I'm
Well,
talking
it
about.
put-
That
that
was
was
around this-
scary as fuck.
yes, it was.
it peeked around the side corner.
yeah.
right?
That too, I loved it.
Yeah.
Man,
Fucking
it's-
got me last night, dude. When I was watching
When
it,
she's
I was,
like-
I was sitting here just paying attention. She's going through. That happened, and I just like, holy fuck! I paused. I'm just like, that fucking got me.
right?
I
That's
really
why I like
liked
this so much.
I really the part that like I liked the most, but like it's why I liked the supernatural aspect and I wanted more of that, was because like when the guy is like trying to he knows that dude is on the other side of the wall, Isaac or whatever his name is, the guy who was hired is on the other side of that wall,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, she shot me. we can get out of here. You just gotta,
Come out.
we can get out here together. She went upstairs. You got time. He's trying to convince him to come through the wall.
Yeah.
And then you see the saw blades start moving. And then you
Uh-huh.
hear the intercom.
I got out.
I'll
Yeah.
send somebody for you. And he's just like,
Uh-oh.
oh,
Who
what
the
the
fuck?
fuck? That part was fucking awesome. Like,
See?
that was the more shit that I wanted.
I
more
like
of
the
that.
hat part too. When he
I'll-
put his hat over her face
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
kept looking, and then all of a sudden the eyes tore and it's watching him. That was creepy shit.
I-
Yeah. And the
I think
painting.
her face.
Oh,
sorry,
the
go ahead.
painting, Yep, in the beginning.
Yep. And we're all talking about the supernatural stuff. There should have been more of it.
It could have used more, but it's sprinkled in there pretty good. For me,
Do
I thought it was good.
It wasn't like
you-
overwhelming.
Yeah.
you think though that do you think that if they had more and focused on the supernatural stuff, it would be less effective? Or do you think it was like at the level it was at was plenty effective for what it was?
See,
Because I
for
like
me,
like I think
actually
if it was more
good.
of the movie, it might have oversaturated it, and it really made some like key fucking moments.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it was just enough. It was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Any
think
more,
you're
and I
right.
think it would have been more of a, ghost flick.
Yeah. It could I don't think it would be terrible to sprinkle in a little bit more, but not too much. Because I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
super good.
I really needed to know that dude had a traumatic brain injury earlier in the movie because I was mad at him for being dumb.
When the
Yeah.
guy's just like, I don't got all day. Either you're in this vest or you're not. And he's just like, okay.
Okay.
Not
So
even that.
that leads me to my first question. Would you guys go to the house?
Fuck no.
So Donnie's not going to the house.
Well, he didn't. The thing is, he didn't know any of that, and it just kept getting
That's fair.
surprised.
When you
on
get
him.
to the lake, Dave, are you going to the
But-
house?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before
I
like
can see
getting,
myself doing it.
I would have gone to the house, but the minute that guy was like, oh yeah, here's the caveat.
It's on
Bada
an
bing,
island?
bada boom.
Oh.
You got to put this fucking chain on with this vest, and you got to be locked in it. I'd be like he did go like, no, I'm not fucking doing that. I would have done the same thing, and I can't fucking believe that he was like, okay, let's do it.
Was he going to get paid
Fuck
for
that.
this? Was that the whole thing?
$200 a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my other question. This is a very important question that I might have missed the real reason. But first, I'm going to say what I think the reason is, and you guys can correct me.
Sure.
The reason for this vest and chain situation is because the mom was crazy and wanted to torture her husband.
Correct.
That's it.
Mhm.
Correct.
That's dumb.
Well,
She was crazy, apparently.
And then we're supposed to be on her side at the end? Because she seems like not a good person.
Yeah, that's kind of fair.
They're all
Well,
terrible people.
Yeah,
so
it is
there's
all
a lot more to it than that.
because she was also
Because
murdered.
Because she was murdered
Supposedly-
doesn't make her a better person.
Supposedly, because he was the one that was going to lock him down there. Remember, but the door was already locked.
Which means that the
Somebody else,
brother,
the brother, probably did. it.
brother, uncle,
But
Yeah.
why would he send him back? That's
The Brunkle.
my one.
like if he
Hole in
already
this
locked
whole
the door,
fucking
why
movie.
send that guy there in the first place?
Correct. And why send him back in the main part of the movie if you had him go
Because-
and do that?
And then-
Because she didn't believe the uncle's narrative.
Which was that this random guy came in over and killed her dad.
So
Who killed the mom?
the uncle,
Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
because that's why the mom went after
did
the
the
uncle.
mom die first?
Yes.
And that's why the dad needed to die, was so that, because I know that the
He knew
uncle
too
said
much.
that he had some stuff on me or something like that.
Yeah. I got the impression that that guy was like in the mob or some shit.
I don't know.
No,
He
just-
had money.
he had money.
Yeah. He just like came off mobster.
He did remind me
Yeah.
of the guy from Snatch that fed people to pigs.
Kind of.
I can't remember
Yeah.
what that character's name was, but he had that Cockney-ish accent.
Yeah, he's very cold.
Oh man. Yeah, so okay, that I still don't understand why the chain was a thing. I get it, like, but like
Well, one of the
they all
part of the
have
stories
keys for it, so why did they keep the fucking chain? And why did the guy have to wear the fucking chain vest to babysit?
so that
He can't get into.
so
her
he
room.
can't get into her room.
What did he think was gonna happen in the room?
She
She didn't want him
didn't
to
want
be
it.
able to.
Why was that chain in place there in the first place specifically, or did they
It
change
had
it?
to supposedly in the beginning. They said that the grandmother was a sleepwalker, and she had to wear that so she wouldn't wander outside.
Okay.
That's where they explained that in the beginning. Now, whether that is actually what it's for, I don't know, but that was brought up in the very beginning.
Okay, so like, was it always designed at that length to where it couldn't go into that one specific room?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And here's another thing I don't understand the physics of, and maybe Dave can explain this to me.
How
So
light
you-
that chain is.
So you have, yeah, because it's a long ass chain, and he's just dragging around like it's fucking nothing.
It's a
Anyway.
3/8 chain too. It's not. That ain't light.
So you got this hallway, right? And your chain can only get to that doorway, but yet you can go into the room next door and get over here to where you can reach the phone.
I think you might be nitpicking it a little bit.
Well, that bothered me because it kept happening, because it kept going in that room, even though they're wearing that chain. And I'm like, if you can't get to point A, how the fuck are you going to get over
Well,
there?
he can get into the doorway. He just can't really go past the
You can't go
threshold
past
of the door.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can't get past there, how are you going to go into another room where the chain is going to catch on a door frame,
Nitpicking.
Little-
and then you
Yeah.
can still
It's
get
movie
far
shit.
enough over to get to
I'd
that
have
phone?
to look at it a
Movie
little
shit.
more.
He's
'cause
got to poke his hand through the thing. He's got to break his fingers. It's all part of the whole fucking story.
That was funny.
Yeah.
He looked and then didn't see her there, I guess, but I did like her just standing there watching the hand come out.
That would be weird to have your hands mangled by like lady hands. They're not.
Here's my other thing. Yeah, why didn't he just immediately pull his arm back?
Right. You
I think
gotta
she
rip
pulled
them.
it off to the side so he couldn't pull it back. Because I mean, he's reaching through a wall into a little.
It didn't really look like he tried, but that's just
These
movie
little-
shit
little
too.
gentle little
What if
lady
she did it
hands
quick enough while
snapping
he's
your fingers.
reaching? I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, it probably wouldn't take much.
would you guys wear the harness?
Hell no.
No.
No,
No. What do you think, Al?
only if it's a sex thing.
I think that he wore it because he wasn't gonna do it, and then he went in there and they met her, and she was peekabooing,
Yeah.
and he was like,
Yeah.
she's not gonna do anything.
Well, what would you be afraid of?
It's getting attacked or something,
Why did they say that he had to wear it?
so that he doesn't attack her.
Why do they think he's going to attack her?
That was
Because
her.
it's men and she's a lady alone on an island. I don't fucking know.
Why hire a stranger to watch their fucking child?
I don't know why to
Because
hire
he-
the
Wait,
guy.
he wasn't a stranger though.
I
Like,
know
yeah.
that, but in that moment in the movie, they're strangers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point I was a little like I'm concerned for my niece being alone in this house and I need someone to like make sure
But he did
nothing
say,
bad
"I need
happens.
somebody
You
I
just
trust."
go to a
He did say, "I need somebody I can trust."
Did he? Think,
Oh, wasn't he like at that moment? Don't you think like he's his landlord or some shit?
I can't remember.
I don't know. Oh,
I don't remember that, but I just know that he did say that he needed somebody he could trust.
he had that picture of himself, right?
Yep.
Did he think he was his friend?
I don't know.
Because like when she was like, "Here's a jacket," and he's like, "Well, my friend had a jacket like that."
I actually
We were saying it was his brother.
I was
Yeah. Brother?
annoyed by that twist, honestly, because that amnesia pisses me off too. I'm just like,
I
Let
think
me-
they did an
Why-
okay job with it in the sense that like he did start to remember, and I
Andy-
did like the reveal of like what actually happened versus what
Yeah.
we're being told has
So-
happened.
when they do that and they tell you what happened, he gets pushed off the balcony. Do they don't actually show it, right?
No, they don't. They just show him
he's-
sneaking,
Yeah, and
Yep, came
he's
up
standing
behind
at
him
the
while he's
balcony.
drunk.
Okay.
which looked like he was gonna fall the fuck over anyway.
Yeah.
And that's probably why you did it.
Well, yeah, but
Get away with it easier.
I just think I probably could have just stood there and watched it happen.
Yeah.
I think it was inferred, right, that the uncle killed both Olga's parents. Right?
That's why.
That's what it seems like.
That's why I was asking, like, who killed the mom?
Yeah, I don't think they say it. It's inferred to be him, and I think like
The
I
uncle
was reading
blames it on the
something
dad.
about how
Yeah.
all the haunting shit is her mom trying to get someone to discover her body to like uncover that truth, and it kind of makes sense because I think she would have like her ghost or whatever the fuck that thing was would have been more aggressive to Isaac if she wanted to.
Yeah,
But like
well,
she wasn't really aggressive till it was the uncle trapped in there at the end.
That's why I was frustrated, because I was like, if she's a batshit crazy person, she's gonna be a batshit crazy ghost, right?
I don't think anything the uncle said was true at all.
Yeah,
I think everything
that's a
was
good-
a lie.
So
that's a good thought, Al, because like the way she was like popping up when he was crawling through the crawl space and shit, like it was almost like crazy playful in that sense. The way she was like like he put his hat on her face and then he looked and she was fucking whole cut looking at him through it. Like it does give like fucking crazy ass person
yeah, but
ghost
also
vibes.
not aggressive.
That
Yeah,
does,
yeah, just not aggressive.
That does make me wonder though. When you die, do you think that your mental illness goes away, or you hang out with that on the other side?
Oh, I would assume
You're a
it'd go
crazy
away.
person, you're a crazy
Mm.
ghost.
I think that you would be also a crazy ghost
I don't
So-
think so.
because it's your personality.
You don't
It's
think
you.
it's-
It's who you are.
I
It's
think
your
a lot
id.
of I think a lot of it would be chemical, like in your actual brain.
That's
don't
what I
know.
think.
I don't know. I haven't died, so I can't really tell you that.
I would think your mental illness would not go with you.
I wouldn't think so either.
So then, how do you know if you don't like? Maybe you have a mental illness right now, but you're not aware of it.
Sure, yeah.
So how much are you going to change as a ghost? And are you going to
Maybe
even?
a lot.
I imagine you'd see more clearly, you know.
My spirit's
Yeah.
gonna be one docile, depressed little bitch, just roaming around like, man, I wish I could still drink coffee.
You think you're gonna still count M&Ms?
yeah, I'm gonna be fucking
No,
trapped to
actually,
it.
what he's going to do is he's going to haunt you and me by throwing M&Ms at us. We're just going to get pegged with M&Ms randomly, and you're just going to hear a. Wait, what the fuck is that? Oh, that's just Donnie. He's mad that we were fucking calling him an M&M counter.
Nice.
And Skittles.
Skittles.
That's Skittles. All
I don't know why I gave you that laugh, by the way, but it was fun to do.
Do you laugh like that, Donnie?
What the?
So this
We
one
lost.
looks really sad.
We
because-
lost Donnie for a minute because my computer decided to restart.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is it still recording?
this is recording. It's a separate
Oh,
thing,
that's weird.
but I'm gonna have to go back into Discord and get Donnie back.
Get Donnie back. All right. I was going to say that the budget for this looks like 250,000 euros, and gross worldwide is $78.6 thousand. So that's really sad. That's
We back?
We got you back.
nice. We're back.
Okay. It just cut out and I was like,
Yeah.
We don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I was in the middle of a whole fucking joke, and then you didn't respond at all, and I was like, "Well, I guess he doesn't think it's funny."
Can you repeat it,
And then in
please?
the corner of my eye, I saw that my computer had restarted. So, but I was like, we lost Donnie for a minute. I don't know. What was the last part you heard?
I said yeah, I'll probably still be counting. Right after I finished my sentence, it cut out.
Oh, okay. Because I went on a whole thing about you as a ghost throwing M&Ms at me and Dave and just laughing at us.
And then he
Yeah.
gave you a laugh that was.
We'll
Yeah.
just hear that randomly.
You guys will bring fucking ghost hunters in and be like, yeah, listen to this EVP, and that's what it's gonna be.
Tink,
Donnie, are
tink.
you there? Ooh.
But yeah,
Oh.
Opie, you're gonna have to repeat those stats again.
Okay, so it had a budget of 250,000 euros. That's a lot, €250,000. And it grossed worldwide $78.6 thousand. Not probably as much.
You know what I'm always wondering
Which is
about?
sad.
Is this like this was 2020?
Yeah.
And this had a theatrical release, or did it go straight to?
No, it went Shutter. So
Shudder.
I guess that would explain that. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
I always wonder how they make money on like a Shutter
Well,
release. You know,
Shutter
I don't
has
know.
to. It's kind of like Netflix. They have to pay like a royalty in order to have it on their streaming service. So they're probably. I'm sure they're still making money.
Yeah, I suppose.
yeah, we just gave him some money.
Oh, yeah.
Donnie watched it on Amazon.
This was director
Yeah.
Damien McCarthy's first full-length movie.
You said first. Does he have more?
He's made a lot of short films, and he's
Okay.
kind of famous for that.
All right.
No, I thought they did really well with this.
Made some good
Yeah, it
ones.
was a good movie. It
Yeah.
just there's a lot of questions.
You know what a little detail that I really liked was as like all that shit was happening, the whoever the guy playing Isaac or whatever, like watching him slowly get more terrified, and you can like visibly see it with the way he's like shaking his flashlight and shit. I think
Yeah.
they did a really fucking good job at that, because usually in movies they're like, oh, lights are out, but I can still steadily hold this flashlight.
And I
Yeah.
did kind of go on a rant in my room by myself about the fucking
Flashlights.
flashlight.
Al loves to walk around in pitch black.
You don't need a fucking flashlight, especially if you're trying to be fucking sneaky.
That's true. I don't understand that one.
Like he went
But
through
if
the
it's
effort.
if it's pitch black, you don't really have much of a choice.
You do.
Yeah, danger afoot. There was danger afoot. Do you have fucking paintings in your room falling
Or-
down
or
and
you-
staring at you and haunting you? Are you chained to a wall?
Or if you're trying to be sneaky and you have a flashlight, cover up the majority of it and just use the light that you need. Like you don't need to enlighten the whole fucking basement, especially when there's a bitch with a fucking crossbow chasing you down.
Yeah, we didn't even mention the crossbow. How many times did somebody get shot with a crossbow in this movie?
1, 2, 3, 4.5.
Yeah.
5.5.
There's a lot of crossbow in this movie. You don't even really think
Yeah.
about it, but there's a lot of crossbow.
You're not gonna ask me what the half was?
What was the half?
When he got grazed.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
grazed
skinned
his
in the
head.
ear. Yep. I will say one thing too is there's like a motif of eyeballs. There's a lot of eyeballs in this movie.
Was there?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
If you go
yeah.
back, you can watch a whole montage on one of the YouTube.
All the
edits
crazy
of-
eyes, the rabbit's eyes.
Yep, there's just eyes, a lot of eyeballs.
Her staring through his hat.
Oh my god! Enough with the hat. I'm just kidding.
No, I will never let go of the
Just
hat.
kidding. But yeah, we talk about the painting much? Because that was
Also, eyeballs staring.
Creepy eyeballs.
Yeah, zoomed in a
Spooky
couple
eye.
times.
That's cool.
and the whispering.
Yeah.
All the actors
I
and the
think that was in a
actresses
dream.
had
See, that
eyeballs.
threw me off because I don't know if that really happened or if it was a dream because they kept kind of cutting back and forth to him falling asleep.
I'm pretty sure it was a dream because the painting was on the ground still when he woke, because he put it on the ground.
It fell to the ground.
Oh,
and then
that's
it flipped
right.
around. Or yeah, he flipped it around and then it
Because
flipped
I think
back.
he was sleeping when he heard the whispering.
Okay.
I don't quote me on that, but that's what I thought it was. I thought he was sleeping.
I thought it really happened, and then I thought he was sleeping because they just did a really
Yeah.
quick cut there. So I mean, there could have been more to it.
I thought it was just classic haunt shenanigans. It happened, but he thought he was dreaming because,
That could be.
But don't you do that if you saw some scary shit? You'd sort of rationalize it in your head. You'd be like,
Well, if I walked
You
up
know.
to a painting and I heard it whispering to me, I'm not going to sleep.
yeah, is it before or after I piss my pants? Because that's going to happen regardless.
Do you guys
Ghost
ever
or not,
watch-
I'm pissing my pants.
Here's my question.
I'd have found a way to lit that fucker on fire.
I just thought of this now. Right? So they were trying, the uncle's trying to convince the little girl that she killed her mother. Or no, that the other guys killed her mother.
no,
that other
killed
guy.
the father.
The
Yeah.
father.
Yep.
The father. But she found the mother.
Yes.
Mhm.
And she had brought that up to him, right?
Yep.
Like he knows that she knows that the mom's dead.
Yep.
Okay. And then Isaac finds the mother
Yep.
and calls the uncle.
Yep.
And then confronts the daughter.
Mm-hmm. And the daughter is
And-
like, I didn't do it.
She's like, I didn't do it. And you called my uncle? Like as if like you called the wrong motherfucker. Probably should have just called the fuzz.
Yeah.
And at that point, it felt like she knew that the uncle was a shit show
Mm-hmm.
and that he was responsible for all this.
Yep.
Yet she's still.
Well, she thought that he was responsible for the mother, but all things pointed to him, to Isaac, as being the one responsible for the father,
Yep.
because it was kind of set up like that.
So she doesn't like trust anyone really. That's
Nope,
why.
she don't trust him because
So-
she actually thinks that he killed the father.
So do you think that the uncle got lucky that he didn't actually kill Isaac so that he could pull this shit? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that he got lucky in his plans that he didn't actually kill Isaac
Yeah,
when he
and then
pushed him over the
He
edge?
conveniently lost his memory and
Yeah.
I think he tried to kill him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying that's why I'm saying you think he got lucky they didn't actually kill him so that he could then be like, see, look, there's this fucking guy that did it.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's weird, huh? It's a little weird. This all was inspired by a drumming rabbit, so
Yeah.
By wind-up toys.
yeah. Yeah, by wind up toys.
What do you mean by wind up toys?
That was the inspiration for the rabbit.
Yep.
What?
He really likes wind up toys. He's he's got a fetish. He
Kind of
jerks
like,
off
you
to
know, the
wind-up
clappy
toys.
monkey
Yeah.
thing.
Yep, yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that clapping monkey. That's a horror movie that's coming out.
Yeah, you
Clapping
just put the
monkey
thing
is?
in there, and I want to see it because that one is one of the anticipated.
Yeah, people were
Clapping
joking
movies.
that they're like, this is really where like movies are going. I'm like, I think it kind of looks good.
What is
Like,
it
I want to
called?
watch it.
I think they should remake bad older movies like The Monkey, or the ones that aren't
Yeah.
famous
The
and
ones that really tanked.
well, yeah, the ones that aren't super popular.
Instead of remaking them, how about kind of rewrite it? Same concept, but have somebody, like A24, Blumhouse, like one of the bigger horror
Yeah.
people actually kind of redo. It has to kind of follow the same idea, but redo it nice
yeah,
so that it can
They-
actually
they-
be successful.
They just
Yeah.
gotta stop with like Hollywood good endings. It's a fucking horror movie. Let it end in despair.
hell yeah.
You don't find that very often.
Does this
There's
one?
a lot of
There's a few.
I was actually
Yeah.
gonna bring it up at some point that we should do like a foreign movies string because
yeah.
like there's a lot of really good French horror movies and shit that they've made American remakes that are just like the endings just
They
they
killed it.
just got out alive. Like that's dumb.
Huh.
It misses the whole point of it.
Opie was pretty big into some of the Italian ones.
Yeah, I love them.
He's watched quite a few of those.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
there's good ones.
One day
there's
we'll
good
get
ones.
into the Jollos.
Yeah.
What else? Gosh, I have a lot to say because I liked this movie so much. Towards the end, it's I don't know. It's like meandering around a little bit, and there's a ghost, and the uncle shows up, and the fucking Olga, the daughter that plays Peekaboo, shoots him in the back with a crossbow. At the end, he's fucking around, and then the fucking mom shows up and peeks around the corner, and that's super terrifying. And then,
This is a really good ending.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
That last like 20 minutes is so good.
yeah,
What about
And
that
then-
last creepy ass scene where he's untying the dog and she's just staring out the door?
yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of
with her harness on.
I was going to say, she can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, she's kind of fucked.
Is she kind of fucked right there? Like
Who's
he's-
getting her out of it?
Yeah, she's stuck, right?
Yeah.
Because the other guy's
Well,
Gonna
I'm
get-
sure that the fucking uncle's dead as fuck down there.
Right. And the
Oh,
mom
yeah.
is dead. She's a ghost. And the guy and the dog are leaving.
Yeah.
So they're kind of bailing on her. That was one of my
she was trying to
questions
kill
is-
him. I think I probably would have bailed on her ass too.
Yeah. Geez, Louise. You think he gets to land and is like, I should call the cops.
Well, I think she was out of crossbow bolts.
That's true.
Well, she could just go back down and get the one from her uncle's back.
That's true. Because she took the one out of
Out
her
of her
mom.
mom.
Yeah.
I know that. That's why I was like, she's out of crossbow bolts.
Yeah. So
But she probably wouldn't want to go down there in case he's not dead.
we get to up our counter, our essay counter,
Ooh, hell yeah.
Yep.
because she made sure of that with the harness. Thank God for that harness.
That wasn't even going to be a problem. I'm pretty.
No, I don't think it
I
was.
feel fairly confident that that dude was not going to sexually assault that girl.
Yeah, I feel you for sure.
He seemed like a generally like solid dude. Yeah, like even when you find out,
Actually, he did the opposite. He put more clothes on her.
Yes, and twist. He never, when he went out there to lock the dad in the basement, he saw it was already locked, and then was in the middle of writing a note that told the dad
The
That-
uncle's trying to kill him.
the uncle's trying to kill you. So he was
Yeah.
not a bad guy. Pre,
Because all he was paid to
Accident.
do was
To lock a
him
door.
in the basement,
Yeah.
make sure the door's locked.
yeah, and it already was, and so he was writing a note. So he wasn't a bad guy. He was a stand-up dude.
He did agree to kill somebody.
when he sat down a
No,
couple
no,
times,
he didn't. He didn't want to kill anybody.
He agreed to lock a door.
Yep, that was it.
Knowing that that would cause a death.
In a roundabout way, like he's crazy.
He said that
and
my
gonna-
brother is
But he was giving him
claustrophobic.
basically life-changing money too.
Yeah.
So when you're desperate, I mean, you might be willing to do about anything.
You think he paid him before the shove?
No, he took the
No.
money with him. He said, "I'll be back tomorrow morning,
No, he
and we'll
wouldn't.
talk
He
about
wouldn't take
this."
the money. He wouldn't take it because he said,
I
didn't
know.
Yeah,
do
that-
anything."
that was at the
I'm
hotel
saying
room,
That the uncle
whatever.
took the
Yep.
money, held it in his hand, and said, "I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk about this when you have a clear head." And then left, and then snuck back in and
Okay.
allegedly pushed him. We don't really know for sure.
See, this is why I think he was like a mobster type. I mean, that's some mobster type shit.
He's a dick. He deserved everything he
Kind
got.
of hiring people to do your dirt. And off and
He's clearly not a good mobster. 'Cause if he was a good
there-
one, he would have had other people to do this shit.
well, maybe he's doing other shit, and this is just like a side mission, like Zelda. He's just
Or he's a starter
There-
mobster.
there is an
He's
interesting
level 4.
theory bouncing around that the island was used by him and the dad as a den for like kidnapped and abused teenagers. I've only been like briefly reading it while we've been talking, but
oh wow.
And
yeah, they
that-
say something about that, and like he wanted to lock his brother in there because with him going crazy over the haunted house, that he didn't want him to like, I don't know, something about like letting it be known that that's what they were doing, so that's why he wanted his brother dead.
Well, that would explain the harness.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, because isn't the harness for the grandma who's a sleepwalker, which doesn't explain why it's fucking starting in the basement.
It's probably because
Al-
of the whole teen thing.
Say you want to chain somebody up in a house. You want them to get into the house, but they can't leave the house, right? Where the fuck would you put the chain? Put it in the fucking basement.
Why would you put it in the basement?
Where the fuck
You
else
would
are
put the
gonna
chain
it?
in the basement if you don't want them to leave the basement.
Well, no, because
Well,
it
that's the only
extends up
part
through the
that's-
house.
What do you
Majorly
need-
concrete.
Why do they need to go down to the basement?
They don't,
Then why
That's
put
just
the
where the
chain in the
chain-
basement?
because it's a nice concrete floor.
I was just gonna say
It's a
because
solid-
they bored that fucking anchor deep into the concrete. You ain't pulling that out.
Yeah.
You can pick the lock.
Maybe.
Either way, you ain't getting that bolt out of the
That's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, nobody's even trying to pick the lock.
So,
There's
Those
like
old locks like that are so easy too.
That's
He probably could have done it with a paper clip.
what I'm fucking saying. They put no effort into getting out.
so who all is going to go up in the ratings?
I definitely am.
Also, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
vest. I can't imagine it was super tight.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to think that too. Like
you could
I was like,
slip it
could
up
I
and over?
slip out of that?
I think you could.
I don't think so.
I think you could.
Maybe not. I don't know.
It depends on how tight the neck area was.
Yeah, we
was-
wouldn't have
he
much of a
pulled those
movie
straps
though if he
pretty
like
tight.
wiggled out of the harness and just left.
It wasn't a straight
Yeah.
jacket.
He didn't really care that. He was kind
They
of.
had straps that actually he tightened. It was tight.
This
I don't
whole
know, it
movie
would've
was
been
kind of
pretty
low
rough to get over
energy.
the shoulders, I think.
Yeah,
What'd you say the budget was? It can't be that high.
250,000 euros.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good price.
That's like $2 American.
They did a good job.
It's Irish. It was filmed in Ireland.
Oh, so that dude was IRA.
No,
We're trying to get into the IRA.
what's the IRA? That's the Irish Republic of America.
Yes, the Irish Republic of America.
Symbol.
It's their mafia.
Yeah, the fucking ending with this, you know. Shudder. All right, yeah. Anybody you want to go up and score?
Yeah.
Join me.
I'm going up to an 8.
Nice. This
Well, now
is-
that you asked me to, I'm going down. no,
well,
no,
it's
I'll,
going
I'll,
down
I'll
to
bump
a
up
2.
to like an 8.3.
This is a fucking bitch move.
Hell yeah. This is
You're a
good
you're
one.
a
This is solid
bitch
one.
move.
What was your original 8? Tony?
7.
7.
7?
7.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go 8.
Hell yeah. If you guys watch it again, I think you might like it a little bit more because you catch a little bit more.
Well, probably, maybe, I don't know.
But I might.
I think
watch
it's just
this-
like good horror. You know?
I thought
It
so
was good.
too.
Man, I really wanted more haunting shit though.
I don't. If
Yeah.
you watch it the second time, you might catch more haunting. I think because it's pretty subtle. It's really not like too bad. Like, you know,
That's what I wanted this to be,
I mean-
was haunting.
It kind of makes me think of have you guys seen the movie Shudder?
No.
I think it's from 2008.
You're talking about Shutter Island?
no,
No, not Shutter Island. It's the fucking is in it? One of the Quaid dudes. Shutter 2000. Not the streaming. Who the fuck is in it? Yeah. Oh no, it's not. It's not Quaid. It's Joshua Jackson.
Huh.
It has haunting stuff in it. It's kind of a flip flop of this, where it's like it leans more into the haunting stuff, but there is still like a whole nother piece that's the real shit going on.
Yeah.
It's just like two different things going on, you know? Intertwined, of course, but I don't know, same kind of vibe.
All right.
What?
What
It
is
was filmed in Thailand, huh?
Oh, Shutter.
Shutter or Shudder?
Shutter.
Shutter. Yeah.
T's instead of D's. D's.
What did you change yours? Did you go up? Did you go down?
I didn't. I'm not going to change mine because I'm satisfied with mine. Actually, yeah, I'm going to stay the same. I don't want to give it a 9 because that's like,
A lot.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
you're getting into some like serious artwork
That's
there.
stepping up
Right.
to elite status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's almost tiptoeing on Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Right. We're not there. This was
Oh,
too
that's your
low
favorite too,
energy.
isn't it?
It was so fucking slow and it's kind of dark, but it was still effective and it had me locked in for the first 30 minutes.
What happened after that?
It kind of meandered. And then the first time I was like, I don't know about this ending and this other crap because it's just kind of floundering, aimless horror movie crap.
So here's something interesting. I think I had asked you when we were at Dad's house, and I was like, "Oh, did you watch the movie?" And you were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What'd you think of it?" And you were like, "Meh." And when David watched it, I had asked him the next day. I was like, "Oh, what'd you think of it?" And he was like, "Meh." And I'm like, "Okay, so now my like expectations are real low." Because you both gave it a meh,
That
but
was
then you
probably
guys
the
get
first
here,
time.
and now it's all of a sudden it's like fucking movie's pretty goddamn good.
Well, I thought it was good.
I think that was probably after my first viewing, and the second one was like, I really do like this. The movie was, I caught more scary stuff and really followed the story better, and just found it.
Yeah, I'll have to do that again this week just for the fuck of it.
Yeah. You just catch a little bit more, and it makes a little more sense, and you know.
That's why I like when we started doing 2 ratings, like before and after, because I'll watch shit alone down here, have my thoughts and shit, and he like there's things where I'm like, this wasn't so great, but talking with you guys, you'll bring up points. I'm like, oh wow, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
It's cool to get different perspectives.
Oh yeah. So this one, it helped to watch the second time, but yeah. I'm glad you guys all went up because I think this was super effective. It's a good movie. Like
yeah.
There's not too much shit to talk about it.
Ain't no salt burn.
No, but it is super low energy
watch
and
that yet,
slow and
Fuck
dark.
no.
So
Yeah, there was one scene that I was really annoyed by, and I don't know if it was like my TV because I have a Samsung like curved TV,
yeah,
and the darks aren't great, and because of the curves, there's some spots that are not as dark, and even when the screen is completely black, I can see a difference in the color, and that's just the TV itself is kind of fucked,
Yeah.
right? But there was a part where he's walking around with a flashlight, and I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be seeing something because there was tempo changes in the music, and I was like, is something fucking happening or not? I don't know.
And that's why we didn't have any real closer songs and stuff. It was all instrumentally,
Yeah,
pretty much everything in it.
yeah, it was more of a score than
Yep.
an actual like music or themes or whatever. Yeah.
but yeah, it was dark. It was very dark and very fucking slow. And I actually listened to the guy. The reason that it was so dark is Kieran Fitzgerald's fault. Because during the interview with the director, he was saying that they'd be setting up these shots, and he'd be like, isn't this too dark? And the cinematographer would be like, no, it's, this is going to be perfect. So he was the one that was like really pushing for the darkness.
The cinematographer guy.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
It worked.
and the director was stoked on it. He said
It's not too bad. There's just like a couple of scenes where it was just a flashlight in the dark, and I was like, first of all, fuck your fucking flashlight. Turn it off and figure it out.
Don't worry, Al. I'm going to take all your flashlights and I'm going to throw them away for you.
I do have flashlights that I like.
A lot of
Even the
flashlights.
one that you put your wiener in.
Yeah, but I don't use them when I'm in a fucking situation where it's better to not have light. Like when I'm getting chased by serial killers
Well, he wasn't chased by a serial killer.
or ghosts
Yeah, it
or
was.
trying to
spirits.
walk down the
Or,
Yeah.
or a psycho with a fucking crossbow who you like, you just want to say, hey, stop, I'm not the guy, but like, she's not going to believe you.
Mhm.
It's that fear of the unknown, though. I mean, like he knows that she was with the crossbow, which is a danger of it in of itself. But like all the other like weird, creepy shit he's been experiencing, like you don't know what the fuck it is, where it's gonna come from, what's gonna happen next. So like any advantage you can get.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't turn the flashlight on.
he was pretty foolish.
Also, the part that I was going to mention earlier about like, I was like, man, I was disappointed how dumb he was getting shot through that hole in the wall that he knew was there, knew she was there.
It did have like a lingering moment where he looked and like he's like, oh fuck, and then she pulls it back and shoots it, and it seemed so goddamn slow. And I'm like, you had plenty of fucking time to react to this.
Yeah, like, move.
Yeah, like get the fuck out of the way, dude.
Yeah.
And he's
And
just
then-
like,
While she's
oh,
sitting
and
there
then
struggling to
bam.
cock it back, bum rush her ass.
Yeah.
Take it from her.
Instead, he went and
But
hid
I,
in the
don't thi-
bathroom.
I think a lot of it, he just didn't want to hurt her.
I get that.
Yeah.
But you can still like restrain her, or at least like take the fucking crossbow away from her.
Just disarm her.
Yeah, like take the crossbow away from her.
Yeah.
She can't get to you at that point, and then just talk to her because there you I just don't get that part.
She could go back, and then when he
Exactly.
I tell you what, if somebody's shooting a goddamn crossbow at me, and as they're trying to reload, if I can get to them, I'm taking that son of a bitch away from them.
Yeah.
That's
what
happening.
if the person behind that crossbow was none other than Van Helsing himself?
Well, then that would mean that Dave's a fucking vampire.
Yeah. Means you're fucked in more ways than one, bud.
I don't know. I'd turn into a bat, fly behind him, and then bite him.
Yeah, that's how that would go down.
Grab his dick and twist it.
Grab his dick and twist it.
The old dick twist.
So
That's what this movie was missing, was just a good old fashioned dick twist.
Yeah, but then we'd have to like keep the counter at
I'm
0.
dropping down to an 8.
Yeah.
There was no dick twist in this movie. We're going down to 8.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would have picked up the fucking pace a little bit.
Yeah, right?
And then our counter would have stayed at 0.
Yeah. Thank God for that harness. Every movie should have a harness. That might sound weird. Never mind.
It depends on what kind of harness, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm looking at The Dark and the Wicked, and it looks very cool from the cover art.
From the
From
I
the-
like it a lot.
Yeah, it looks fucking rad.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the next one.
Fucking rad.
Yeah.
That one was like rated similarly to this one when we were talking about it last week.
Ooh.
Slightly higher by like just a couple points.
Yeah, so like,
Oh,
that's
what-
why it was like a flip of the coin which one we should watch first.
That also came out in 2020. Horror movies of 2020.
It's
2020, just a bomb ass year for horror movies.
Yeah,
It
and
was
they're
also
not rated.
COVID, so
Neither one of them are rated. Do you think neither one of them being rated is something to do with COVID? Is there a writer's
Yeah,
strike
quite possibly.
or some shit that
I
happened?
think that everyone
Or maybe if this
a little
one
out of
did
work.
like a whole streaming, like the Shutter thing, you know, it
That's
doesn't
true.
really need a rating because it's going on Shutter.
Apparently, there's a movie that came out in 2020 called Uncle Peckerhead.
Why does that sound familiar? It sounds like a Primus song.
It sounds very familiar, but
It sounds,
Uncle Pecker.
sounds like some kind of Primus song.
Huh.
but Possessor came out in 2020. If you haven't seen that one, that's a good one.
I haven't seen that.
Dave, I think you would like Possessor.
Oh yeah.
If it's the it's the movie I'm thinking.
If it
You would
doesn't-
like it, I think.
If it doesn't have a doll in it, Dave doesn't like it.
I hate dolls.
Nah.
Oh, wow.
What? That's my whole fucking.
I got nothing on Primus Peckerhead.
Oh, there was one thing I was.
No, I know it's not really a Primus.
Um,
You never know.
with the long legs thing and the dolls. I remember we were kind of talking about the whole doll thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, the dolls were actually made with real hair from the person, I guess.
What the fuck? That seems like extra work.
It had something to do with the mom being a nurse, and that's where that was brought up. So she had access to the blood and, you know, like all of that shit for him to put into the doll to make it like a voodoo doll.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
That explains a little bit.
Yeah.
Did
I figured I'd relay that one. The dude I was watching about it kind of explained a lot of that stuff.
did
And apparently
Donnie?
it shows it talks about it a little bit real subtly throughout the movie, but
Yeah.
I saw Longlegs when it like was released. So I didn't. I only watched it the one time, so I could use a rewatch of it.
Mhm.
But like not to derail into a whole Longlegs conversation. But what do you guys think of Nicolas Cage in it?
I thought it was weird for weird sake. I didn't like it.
Opie didn't like it. I thought it was great.
I got a kick out of it.
I
I thought it was
appreciate Nick
pretty
Cage
good.
just going for it.
And I actually was talking about how when he's in the car yelling the whole daddy thing and everything. Yeah. I pulled up two different
Did you show
videos.
him that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'll do that quick after we're done.
He showed me it like after
Okay.
last week.
In Kick-Ass, when
Oh.
he's
Oh yeah,
when
he's good in Kick Ass.
when he's tied to the chair and Hit Girl's coming in to rescue him, and
It's
they,
the same sound.
and they light him on fire, and his yelling is exactly the same.
Hmm.
Very, very
Yeah.
similar.
Okay. That's
Daddy.
I said that to Maddie for some reason the other day.
Well, I don't need to know what you guys
Oh,
do.
we were walking through the
Yeah.
store and there was some little girl that was like, "Mommy," and I looked at Madison and I was like, "Mommy."
Sounds like you guys took the harness idea from Caveat a little too seriously.
Yeah, it was the harness and
Yeah.
the mommy issues. Anyway, yeah, going back to Dark and the Wicked.
The Dark and the Wicked, which was
The
suggested
Dark
to me
and the Wicked.
by someone, and so, and every time I see them, they're like, "You watch that movie yet? You watch the movie yet?"
Now you could tell him we're doing this movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited for it. It looks fucking rad.
Hey man, you watch that movie I told you about?
You guys ever get that?
No.
Nobody's
I don't
like,
really talk to anybody.
nobody's ever
Oh
like,
yeah.
"Hey, I got a movie you guys should do."
No, I get some TV show stuff, but I don't watch enough TV shows to keep up with TV shows. I might watch 1 or 2 episodes a night. That's it.
Would you guys ever think about like talking about like real shit?
What do you mean real shit?
Well,
Yeah, what do you
like-
mean real shit?
Like what we were talking about before?
No.
No. Before we recorded, absolutely not.
Okay.
But
No.
I'm saying like documentary stuff. So like Zodiac shit, or
Ooh, okay, yeah, like
We should.
I've seen shit like that on YouTube where they'll break down like yeah, shit like that.
I said
So,
Zodiac
let's
because
pair
it is a movie, but it's also a real thing. You
Let's
know,
pair it with a
Yeah,
horror movie that may be based off of something,
when we
and then we can do like a bonus thing where we just sit down and talk about
When
Well,
we-
that would be. I would put that right in the analysis. If we
When-
were watching
hang on.
Zodiac,
yeah.
talk about the fucking Zodiac. Like,
When we
Yep.
first started doing this, I was trying to do that where like I would try to pick movies that had inspiration from real events, and then I would want to try to talk about the real events. But like sometimes, you know, you just gotta watch Chucky, you know?
yeah, that's fair. I would love
You're saying
that. though.
Chucky isn't
That sounds great.
Don't tell.
There have been times
tell
where
Dave.
I've tried to take weird movies and try to relate them to real life. You
Yeah.
know? But it's hard.
Well, I'm just saying because like in the like they're pretty sure they found out who the real Zodiac killer is, and now they're really close. Allegedly, there's still a lot of argument on this, but they're pretty sure they figured out the Jack the Ripper.
Oh, really?
really.
Nice.
Yeah, it had to do with a sample that they found on a scarf that had some familial DNA.
yeah. It was just some
Mm.
dude named Wayne.
Are you being for real right now?
No, I made that up.
Oh, yeah.
But,
No, it was
like
one of their
all these years of this big old mystery, and they're just like, yeah, this is some fucking warehouse worker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's Todd.
there's a lot of Sweeney Todd.
It's kind of funny because
Oh
was
man,
Tucker.
as far as like serial killers go, wasn't didn't he only have a couple?
He had a few.
There wasn't a whole. There
There was a
wasn't no
few.
like 20
A
or
lot
30.
of it was
Yeah,
how
but-
he was surgical, but yet
Yeah.
also animalistic, and it was in a pitch dark, and
Yeah.
it was also like a time that
There was
serial
a movie
killers
where
weren't
they
a
were
thing.
talking about that. What movie was that?
I don't
Where
know.
he's like walking and they were talking about how many he had 7 victims, and they were like 7.
Yeah,
I think it was just the brutality around them. 'Cause
Yeah.
Didn't he like send a box to the police with a letter and like a heart or something?
something like that. I don't even know anymore.
I don't know much about him.
Well, I don't know. I bet there's a horror movie based
But
on
that's
that.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Should
like
be.
he's throwing some real shit.
Okay.
Maybe that'll be the next round.
Okay.
We'll pick a some kind of serial killery, something based off of something
Horror
real.
based on
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
and then whoever's movie that is has to do the research on that serial killer or true crime event.
Oh, there you go.
And then it's like
I like
their
that.
episode. So like this is the movie and this is what happens in the movie, and then they have to like go through the whole spiel of like,
I'm glad that the next one falls on Donnie then.
yeah.
Fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh, the
Is it
pressure's on.
literally next week? No, not next
No, next week is The Dark and the
That's
Wicked.
Then the next one's Donnie, and then it goes right back to Opie again.
week.
Are we gonna? We can talk about this next week.
Shit,
whether
that's
whether
kinda
we're like
fun.
what we're gonna roll into. What are we gonna? Are we gonna roll into that?
So next week
Is that the
after
plan?
this one, I think, because technically you're the final pick. So after your pick, then we'll start with Opie
Okay.
on that.
Okay.
Are we currently on
Because
any
Opie
theme or
was the
just
first
picking
one
shit?
to pick,
What is the theme that
and
we're
then it
doing
went to
now?
me, then Al,
Yeah.
then Donnie, then back to Opie. That's how we were doing.
What's
it.
the theme now?
Or are we just picking
Just
shit?
Because
picking
we
random
just picked
shit.
stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
I was suggested this one.
Yep.
Dave found caveat, however the fuck you say it, caviar.
Caveat.
Caveat.
It's just cave at.
Cave at. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, cave rat.
Yeah.
That could be a good one.
I had a hard time remembering the word
Yeah.
caveat this whole
It's like
time.
what the fuck is cave art?
Did we even say the name of the movie when we started this episode?
I believe so. I
Yeah.
think I said 2020's
Yeah. Okay.
caveat.
Caveat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Funny
said it right
movie
away.
2020. Eyes.
All right.
I know sometimes if
little
I don't
drummer
know
buddy.
if I don't know a word, if I think I'm going to say it wrong, I'll just try to avoid saying it and just beat around the bush.
Cave
The
at.
the problem with this group of people though is like you're not like you guys call everyone calls out everything. You can't like let something slide. Like the
No.
minute one of us messes up something, everyone else is just like ah,
I don't know, that sounds like caveat. You guys are caveat.
fucking moron.
Fucking idiot. Don't know how to say words.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
you can't read it from the outside.
That's an old quote from It's Always Sunny.
I love that quote. The last thing I do is I turn on the ice cold Coors sign. Charlie, that sign says closed. What? Come on, come outside, come outside.
Nice.
I can see how you would think that from the outside.
I was like,
Can't read it from the
yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
I can see where I would misread that from the inside. You can't read it from the outside.
You see that door over there? The one that says pirate on it? Do you think a pirate lives
Think
in
there's
there?
real? You think there's real pirates in there?
I see a door that says private.
That's my Wi-Fi name. I have for my 2.4 and my 5 gigahertz. One is hey, do you think there's pirates in there? And the other one is Charlie. That door says private.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Very good.
But I suppose we should wrap this up, huh?
Yeah.
I suppose. Until next week, The Dark and the Wicked.
Dark and the Wicked. And
Catch us on Facebook.
The Dark and the Wicked.
And YouTube and Spotify and
Yep.
Instagram.
all the things.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to push the button and then
Until then, bye-bye.
Yep, doodles.
Whoop, whoop.